bed. It's not a lot of activity.
Okay, so this guy says he wants to eat
It's hot. It's hot in Georgia. And all
until
my
he dies.
sit. I would just eat until I'm dead, probably.
I know y'all see Dante's name.
A normal day for me is wake up around 12, figure out something I'm gonna eat immediately. TV, video games, bed. It's not a lot.
Yo, listen to what you want to do.
All right, I'll listen to it after this.
Activity. It's hot. It's hot in Georgia. And
I'm not making fun of fat people, but like at a certain
all my clothing is restricting and tight. So
I know y'all see me
I just
clicking
sitting
this.
there naked, free as can be, and no one bothers me. And all my clothing
certain
is restricting and tight. So I just sitting there.
Don't you like want to hit the gym before you get here? Wouldn't you want to hit the gym before you get here?
Naked, free as can be, and
You don't
no
have
one
to go to the
bothers
gym,
me.
just
Door
like go
shut.
around
We're
the
good.
Walk.
I'm just safe, and video games are where I escape.
Do you work?
Oh, no, he's got it. Oh god, he's got that one guy that's gonna kill me. Oh no, he's weak, but I'm weak. I'm weak. Ah, I'm gonna die.
Ironic. He said he can sit. He said he's just gonna eat until he dies. But my boy about to die while playing. How you that big playing Fortnite?
He's down. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go in the kitchen and get stuff. All right, I'll be right back.
That's okay how it be. I can't rewind it.
I'm accepted in all those virtual reality worlds and the gaming world I'm in.
Oh, no.
No one sees me. No one sees me. That is my outside. That is my world that I can be.
Did he have about 4 or 5? He had about 4 or 5.
Run that back.
Run that back.
In all those virtual reality worlds and the gaming world I'm in. No one sees me.
If you walk, you take a step, and your whole entire body jiggles. No way.
No one sees me. That is my outside. That is my world that I can be the Casey I want to be, but not be judged on my weight. I never would have thought at 34 I'd be living with my father.
He's
And
34?
I'd have no job, have no real money, and just be playing video games all day and eating. I've always been a big kid. Out of high school, I was probably 300 something pounds. But then I got out of school.
How are you 300 pounds in high school? Like, is that even, like, physically possible? Like, in senior year to be 300? Well, I guess it is if you're, like, built. He's fucking Nicky. He is. He was.
Got a couple jobs at a couple restaurants. I ate at them.
He looked like the mascot of McDonald's. He looks like he probably runs.
He looked like he should run a restaurant. Like he'd be the face of a restaurant or something.
I was probably around 500 pounds then, and it was just getting too difficult to work, so I quit my job.
He couldn't work because he was 500.
My mom said to live in this house, you have to have a job. So she
Most
kicked me out,
definitely.
and the only place I had left to go was my father's.
Most definitely.
So I went there. Basically, his one thing that made me happy was food. So we just ate like.
And food make you excited to the point where when you get in a car, your suspension level goes down. You need to go run around the block or something.
Kings, but like in the worst way. Pizzas, chicken, Japanese food, takeout. I mean, me and my dad would get hibachi delivered, sushi by the barrel.
That is so
I mean, just
unhealthy.
anything you wanted to eat, we were getting.
Oh my god, Nanners, where are you? Nanners, is this even a real game?
You see my boy had the seasoning and a plate in his bed.
Why are you not just pushing these people with me?
Casey, I got your food.
Okay.
All right.
He answered a little too quick for my liking.
These people with me.
Casey, I got your food.
Okay.
All right.
You answered a
They got
little
the
too
drinks.
quick.
I don't know which one's tea, which one's Dr. Pepper. You have to look in and see. He'll tell me what to get him, and I come right back a lot of times in case that's too much food. But I'll get it for him and bring it to the house and put it right in front of him. He's my son. I love him. I love to make him happy. You
That
know.
is that is unhealthy, and it's low-key his dad's fault because you're his father. You just say no. I'm not gonna bring you food. You need to work out. He obviously can't go. He can't go get him food. He probably hasn't left the house in years.
And food's got a lot to do with his happiness, but he's like an addict about food.
Stop
Well-
giving him food.
I have bad news. You did not get your right order.
Are you kidding me?
No, you didn't. Because if you ordered yourself a meal, it's not in here.
Well, whatever.
Here you go. There's your lunch.
Nah, you took his food. You most definitely stole his food.
I don't want to call him an enabler, but I mean, sometimes that's really the way, like, it seems that it is. I'm not buying the groceries. I'm not buying the frozen pizzas. I'm not buying the chicken wings. There's some.
Why you got 4 or 5 burgers stacked on top of each other? Then you gonna add extra seasoning.
Someone facilitating the
feel
food
bad for
coming
that
in,
dad.
and it's not me.
Yeah.
Someone-
So what he just said, he was like, he doesn't buy groceries and he doesn't buy the food. Someone's facilitating
And it's not me.
the food, and it's not him. So basically,
Some-
he's basically blaming
There's someone
dad.
facilitating the food
He's a
coming in,
food.
and it's
He's
not me.
fat. I
Someone
got 20
else.
minutes, and I'm gonna go watch Dante.
I'll let you know what we're gonna do as far as supper.
Yeah.
You know, he's 34 years old, and you know he ought to be taking responsibility more than what he's doing.
Hey, will you come get this out of here? This is not in the way.
All right. You through with everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Can you not
Food
get up?
is
We already saw you could get
so
up.
much more a part of me than I want it to be. I mean, it's killing me, but like it's like a drug. You don't even notice it.
Look at him with clothes on.
Drug, you don't even notice it.
run
So
it
much
back.
more a part of me than I want it to be. I mean, it's killing me, but
Half of this is his stomach. That part still is his stomach. If your stomach can fit in your pants,
like it's like a drug. You don't even notice it. Now there are moments afterwards where like I've ate so much where I feel sick,
Okay.
but I don't mind overeating and just going and throwing up in the bathroom. No big deal. It's all coming back out. It didn't affect me.
that's sick. If you can eat that, if you're that fat, that you can just eat and be okay with throwing up, that's not even being fat. That's being sick. That's borderline sick.
If I could just eat, not gain weight, would be fantastic. But do I want to be fat forever? No. I
Run the
wish I
block
wasn't in
then.
the situation that I'm in. So I bathe outside this trough currently because I cannot physically bathe in a sit-down bathtub or stand-up shower area.
Oh, this is
You're too big. You can't fit. I believe that.
Because I'm a bigger guy with like folds and flaps, and I have to move around like almost.
He calls them folds and flaps. He calls them folds and flaps. Folds and flaps. Folds and flat. If you know you're big, If you know you're big, then
It's like
stop
a pig in a way, and wallow and roll over to get like the back of my leg. I have to lift up literal like pieces of skin. It's just a super difficult process. There's 2 times when I've been kind of stuck in the shower and I couldn't get up. I sat in there for like 9 hours.
I would cry. If I was stuck in a tub for 9 hours, I most definitely would cry. I 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 would pray. And when I got out, 9 hours after, we finna hit the block and we finna run some squares. At least walk. Like, burn 2 calories. Like, at least you burning something. Like, you
Just couldn't get up. And I can't ask my dad to get me up. And we were like, I was like, Dad, I'm afraid to get back in there again. He's like, well, I got this thing I can buy.
I said I'm afraid to get back in there. He could put the towel.
It gets old. It gets old, and I get tired of it. And he should be more active, but he's not. He's not. He's just there.
So who's gonna take care of your
He's
dad
just
if
there,
he gets, like,
and I wait on him hand and
He gets
foot,
sick
and
and
I shouldn't do it, but I do. Whew. I love him to death. He's my son, and I feel obligated to wait on him. I shouldn't feel that way. I wished I didn't. I shouldn't, but I do.
Whoa. Me and my dad's relationship is it's kind of touch and go. Like sometimes we'll have great moments together, and then recently in these past like years, there's a lot of like negative.
Was it so much work that you gotta moan and groan? Yeah.
Recently in these past like years, there's a lot of like negativity. Kind of touch and go. Like sometimes we'll have great moments together, and then recently in these past like years, there's a lot of like negativity,
that bad?
anger, and frustration. But now I'm at a size to where I need him to help me do things that just no parent wants to be doing when you're in your 30s or whatever.
Just pour it on my head.
On your head?
Yeah.
All right. Check it out. Make sure.
Yeah, just pour it on my head.
All right,
Slowly. And my back.
How you gonna give him
Yeah.
commands?
I need his help a little bit to clean myself. Wiping just my
Yeah, do
ass.
your own
Because I
thing.
mean, I can't reach everything on my back, and I can't reach everything below me. So, it's whatever.
Did you say he wipes his butt for his dad wipes his
I'm all
butt
for a man
him?
having surgery, and I know she needs it to save her life. But it's just a scary thing to think of.
All right.
I've never had
about
surgery,
4
never
or
been
5 cracks.
anesthesia is something I've never even thought about. All those things are foreign to me, and it's scary.
Okay. All right.
Be careful on that hardwood floor when you go in there, because you might slip. You hear me? Be careful, son.
If
All
you
right?
slip, you're not getting it up. You're gonna roll. You're just gonna roll.
I want him to have a normal life, and that's not normal. No, things can't go on the way they're going right now. I mean, we've got to make some drastic changes.
Well, that's really it for that video. I do feel, in some shape or in some way, I do feel bad for him, because I feel like when you get that big, it becomes like it's not like, oh, you're doing it for fun, like the cheapskates. It's like there's an actual problem, and you probably is the way you were raised or something like that, but most definitely not just most definitely not just because like you want to. There's probably like he probably has like family issues or something like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna make these two separate videos. So here's the second part of this video. This dude carried
I had a pretty big family growing up. I have
100-pound piece of fat on his thigh or his leg.
2 sisters and 1 brother. And I'm the oldest of my siblings. And we were pretty close-knit. We did everything pretty much together. We had our ups and downs like any other family, but things were good. We didn't have a lot of money. But my dad worked for a hot dog restaurant, and we could eat there for free. So we'd have dinner there a lot. And I think those are my favorite memories.
They share their toothbrushes.
And I never wanted that time to end because we were all together eating and happy. But for a lot of reasons,
mad.
that all started to change as I got older. The biggest one being that I didn't
Do I have to take this picture, Mom?
end because we were all together eating and happy. But for a lot of reasons, that
He probably has pieces of food stuck in him, and I know we all make that joke. You have pieces of food, McDonald's grease stuck on your flaps if you roasting a fat person. But like he genuinely probably does.
all started to change as I got older. The biggest one being that I didn't realize that my parents started doing drugs. And as I got older, their habit got worse.
See,
They
like
got
I
into
said,
harder stuff.
Like I said, like
Instead of buying things like clothes and food,
becomes
my parents
problems.
would use the money to buy.
What the fuck? I done had enough. I done had enough. He done stretched him out so far. I done. Look at his toes. Look at his toes. Look at his toes. Look at his toes. They're crusty. They're crusty. They're crusty. That should not be possible in any. Bro, what? How you gonna go from looking all sharp and fresh? My boy's about to go to kindergarten prime to
Their habit got worse. They got into harder stuff.
then go from
Instead of
that-
buying things like clothes and
Yeah.
food,
how you
my
go
parents
from
would
that
use
to
the money.
this. Like, how do you walk? You can't. He has to have. He has to have like a personal maid. He has to have like a personal. He has to have like a. He has to have like a personal maid. Hands down.
Money to buy drugs and alcohol and cocaine, ecstasy, shrooms. And meth was a big problem. So we started to struggle even more financially, and my whole family's situation changed. Things just got a lot harder and lonely.
Yeah, see, he's becoming bigger. See, he's becoming a little bit bigger because he went from looking like that. Like, see, he's not even a big kid right there. You see, his face got bigger.
A lot harder and lonelier because me and my siblings were kind of on our own and had to start to fend for ourselves. I was around 10 at the time, and as
You know your parents are crackheads. I can tell his parents were crackheads looking like if you look like that. Let me stop making fun of him. He gets a pass. He gets a pass for being fat. He's sick. That boy, unless he just done some stupid.
the oldest, I felt a lot of pressure to help and figure things out. But there wasn't much I can really
Yo, tell me why that's like Dante's his school day picture. Like, he had his eyes closed in his school day picture. He was like, Dante said he was a troll. This kid is trolling. Most
do at
definitely.
that age. The only thing I could really still do was eat.
Bro, from an up angle, oh my. And the dog. What if he's what if he laying down, the dog laying down too, and he flip over and this right here just on that dog and kills him? How many dogs do you think he's had?
To forget about my life,
He does walk.
and I started to put on weight fast. Over the next 3 years from then, my weight tripled. And I hit 300 pounds when I was 13 years old. And getting that big then, of course, made things even harder. Because I couldn't fit in my desk then. Sitting in chairs like
That's
the other
his feet?
students, I just couldn't fit in them. They were too small, so I'd be in a chair, in a desk, in front of the class, like I was almost out on display. So I really didn't have any friends. I just had food in my family. So I kept eating as much as I could whenever I could and put on another 150 pounds or so. So I was
Stop
up around
eating.
4:50
If you know
then.
it's a problem,
But at that
stop
age,
eating.
my family started to become a lot more responsibility for me. Because as the oldest, I kind of had to start becoming the leader of the family and take care of everyone. Since our parents weren't taking care of us, and I was old enough to get a job, so I became the man of the house. I got a job at a fast food place, so I can earn a paycheck and keep eating all day. I'd
Well, that's the problem. You got a food at a fast food restaurant. You ate lunch there. You were on your lunch break, whatever. You gained weight. I
go
know
to
that
school from
because I worked
7
at
until
Mom's.
3. I have to go to work from about 3 p.m. to about 3 a.m. and then have to be back up at 7 a.m. for school. And I made what we needed. But the stress of it all was hard to do school and work like that. And I started to get really depressed. And that just made me want to eat more. And by the time I was 18
Look, it
and
makes me
graduated
feel bad.
high
I'm sorry
school,
for talking
I'd
about
crossed well over into the 500s. And then when I was 19, started working at a pizza place. And I love pizza, but the deal was the same there, where I could eat for free. And by the end of the day, I had eaten 4 or 5 pizzas on my own, and a bunch of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks. And I just loved it. Food started to become this all-consuming passion of mine. I always
just
wanted to
don't.
be eating.
Just don't.
But I was also that person that got a sense of joy out of it because feeding other people became almost like a euphoric thing for me.
I
And
guess, yeah.
that caused me to eat more. So my weight gain just kept going. My weight climbed to over 600 pounds when I was about 22 years old. Right before I crossed that point is when I started developing the lymphedema on my leg. This mass was forming on my leg. So me and my mom went to the doctor and they told me what it was. And it would only get worse if I didn't lose weight.
Then
The
lose
doctor told
weight.
me that if I didn't change, that I would be dead at 31. And they should pretty much say their goodbyes to me if I didn't change. So all that
Goodbye.
got me even more depressed. But when I felt that way, it made me want to eat even more. So it was this vicious cycle where I just kept eating and wanting to eat more and more. So it kept getting bigger and it kept getting harder to do things.
That shit, I feel bad. I'm sorry. But like,
To where when I turned 25, I had to completely stop working because I couldn't physically do it anymore. I went on disability. I'm guessing I was around 700 pounds then.
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why when he stood up, I thought that was his testicle. You won't unless it's good. So your stomach is too big.
Since I couldn't take care of my family anymore, the one thing I didn't want to do is become more of a financial burden to them. So I started living on my own, doing nothing really but eating all day alone. But the loneliness
Four-
didn't
four
help my
pizzas.
depression.
At first thinking
I got a dog
slices.
named Bella to try to help, but nothing does for me what food does. So my eating has never slowed down. To where now I don't know how much I weigh. All I know is it's gotten to be too hard to do most everything. If it wasn't for Jessica and
Why he's
to where now I don't know how much I weigh. All I know is it's gotten to be too hard to do most
my bro broke a sweat by doing that.
everything. If it wasn't for Jessica in my life, I don't know what I'd do or how I'd survive.
Jessica pretty big.
We met originally on a dating app, and
Jessica
when I
making
came
him
to
fatter.
JT's house to meet him for the first time, I just felt comfortable. So I didn't really notice JT's weight or his size because his personality covers it up pretty well.
I always dreamed of and wanted a family of my own. When Jessica
can't have
came into
kids.
my life,
I'm sorry, you can't have kids, and if you do, is it that hard to eat less? I guess, but like he's saying, he want a family. You cannot have kids, and if you do, your kids gonna come out looking real suspicious.
it gave me hope. But the problem is I'm still 32 and weigh so much I can hardly move.
Oh, he made it. He made it past 31. He was supposed to die at 31. He made it 32. And clap. All right, that's good. That's good. That's on a positive note.
But food is such an important part of my life.
It should not be.
How do I give up what makes me feel happy and safe? And like I did when I was a kid, food is my everything. So I don't know how to live without it.
I want to know why they make clothes this big. Like, what's in their mind? I hope somebody really, really fat comes in my store. His body used to be his body is used to stupid high amounts of sugar and cholesterol.
Even though I know it's the same thing that's killing me now, and it's taking my future and life from me.
I love JT, so my dream is to have a family with him, but I'm worried that if he...
Guys, listen. You cannot have a family. You can probably produce children, yes. But he cannot. There's no way. Like, there's no way, like, you can have a child with him.
doesn't lose weight, I'm not gonna have that.
Like, he can be.
The
your
doctors
size.
gave me
He can
until I
lose
was
weight.
30. And I'm 32 now, so my time is running out. So I don't have a lot longer. Because at any moment, my heart can just give out. And that does scare me.
Low key, I felt bad, but now I'm like it's making me mad. Because, like, if you know you're going to die, if you know you can die, why eat? If you know you can die, why eat?
But losing food scares me more. And that's the problem.
Losing food scares you more than dying. Nobody said you couldn't eat, because you have to eat. If you don't eat, you're going to die. So, like, yeah. But, like, you need to go ahead and get you a personal trainer, sign up to one of them Weight Watchers clubs, go get surgery so they can remove all the gluten or whatever out of your body and you can slim up and it's easier for you to lose weight. But, like, my guy, like, you have to watch yourself.
It was really good, though.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. I want to live. But I don't see how I can without food. So I know
The same way I do. I'm pretty skinny, healthy, whatever you want to call it. I'm in good shape, and I eat. I'm in good shape, and I eat. Yo, what's up, Frosty? Yeah, I'm in good shape, and I eat very well. So, like, or not very well, but I eat.
I brush my teeth, eat breakfast, work out, shave with Gillette Pro Glide. Gets virtually every hair in the first stroke. For a shave, I barely feel it.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I'm in good shape and I eat, so like you could be just. Not, I'm not saying be like just like me.
I need help.
That's everybody.
Hey, babe, is there any ice cream in there?
Think so. Here you go. It's chocolate chip cookie dough.
If she loves him, she
You're
would tell
welcome.
him. Like, that's not love.
Every night when I go to bed, I wonder if tonight's the night I'm not gonna wake up. Because I can feel something bad coming. My body's never felt this way. I've never hurt as bad as I do. And now I struggle to breathe a lot. So I'm just getting even worse. Because my body can't take all my weight anymore. It's just too much.
Are you done?
Yeah, can you throw this away for me?
Yeah, I will.
I appreciate it. So whatever time I have left, it's not a lot.
If you know that, I'm so like that makes me mad. If you know you're gonna die, why still eat?
I don't think I have another year in me.
I cannot kiss that. I'm sorry.
So I either have to find a solution to help me finally change, or I know there's no way I'm going to be alive for much longer.
Well, that's that. I'm not even. I'm just gonna end it at that.